Yo yo guys, dan selamat bergabung kembali. Mari kita teruskan I Saw Black Clouds bagian yang kedua. Nah, terakhir kali kita dapat flash disk ya teman-teman ya. Bukan flash disk ya, SD card. Sementara waktu Om WaWa bakal coba buat ngeliat di sini ya. Kayak ada pocongan di sana. Halo Bu Dokter. Wow.
I understand that, of course. But can you explain to me why you think a dead person is talking to you?
It doesn't talk to me. She puts thoughts in my mind.
How is this affecting you?
I feel her here every day, especially at night. As though I'm always being watched. And what she used to say was comforting. But now it's things that frighten me.
I'm concerned that this imaginary friend is affecting your emotions so much.
Imaginary. She is as real as you are.
Please, keep talking to me, Emily. It's important you explain this.
I can't.
Why not?
Because she's right there, standing behind you.
Gak bisa ini.
Hello and welcome.
Reverend Peter.
Peter, please. It's Christina, isn't it? How can I be of help?
There are a few things I wanted to ask you.
Well, after a bereavement, people often want answers.
Aku pengen mengerti ya teman-teman ya. Apa yang terjadi sebenarnya di game
About
ini
Emily.
tentang Emily?
I just wanted to better understand what happened.
Friends and family have all sorts of feelings after an event like this. Guilt is very common.
Rasa bersalah. Ada sesuatu yang lain kah,
I can
Pastor?
understand that. This was something else.
Yes?
Ghost.
Emily talked about seeing ghosts here in the village. And it's something that I've experienced as well.
Maybe it has something to do with the story of Agnes.
Nah, siapa Agnes, bos?
Agnes.
It's a local legend. Dates back to the 18th century. She was a maid who worked in the Lord's estate. Her parents brought her over from Sweden when they came to work here. The story goes that she had an affair with the Lord. When she fell pregnant, he was horrified that she wanted to legitimize the relationship. It was all very different back then, of course.
Apa yang dilakukan ya sama Agnes nih?
So what did she do?
Well, when she refused to back down, he threw her out. It was very cruel. Her parents weren't around for her, and as a single pregnant woman back then, your choices were very limited. Out of options and without any hope, she threw herself into the lake on the Lord's estate.
Oh, dia bunuh diri, tenggelam.
Drowned herself and the unborn child.
And that's where the ghost stories come from.
Thanks, Anne. Bye. Not exactly.
Enggak juga.
It's said that she cursed the area with her death. And that her spirit returns to taunt young women into taking their own lives. It's all nonsense, of course.
Yeah, haunted.
I guess Emily believed it. Because she really seemed to think she was being haunted.
Doesn't help that Alexander keeps talking about it. He's the Lord's descendant.
He lives here in the village.
Yes. The estate's had the same family and for hundreds of years. I wouldn't recommend talking to him about this. It's not the kind of thing you want to hear when you've just lost a friend in the way that you have. It can be a little bit grumpy too.
Oh. Tapi kita tetap ke sana ya guys ya, sebagai orang muda yang punya rasa ingin tahu yang berkecukupan. Ya, ini dia. Gila sih, mantap banget sih ini game. Bos, hati-hati lah bos. Yang gua serem ya dari ini cewek, dia itu selalu kemana-mana sendirian. Guys, kalau kalian lagi dalam masalah ya, sendiri itu bukan opsi. Ingat, kita itu manusia ya. Kita bisa berhubungan dengan orang lain. Jadi kontaklah teman-teman terdekat kalian untuk membantu.
Yes, what do you want?
I believe I met a colleague of yours today, Dominique. She mentioned to me that you worked at the clinic. I was hoping I could ask you some questions.
Very well. Come in.
Thank you. This is my friend Emily. She passed away recently.
Yes. I was at the clinic when your friend was there, but purely in an advisory capacity. I couldn't comment on her treatment.
Advisory?
Advisory? At the clinic?
Yes, I retired as a surgeon many years ago, but I would be called back to advise the psychiatric team from time to time.
So, kenapa kliniknya tutup?
Why did the clinic close?
No. Series of patient disappearances. Suicides. Over the years, it led to its closure.
Reverend Peter.
I spoke to the vicar, and he told me the story of Agnes.
That man's a fool. He believes in God, but doubts the existence of evil. Ridiculous.
So you believe there's some truth in this curse?
Oh, yes. This house has been under dark clouds for hundreds of years. Ever since my ancestor foolishly impregnated that stupid maid.
Sudah pernah lihat belum nih setan ceweknya nih?
Have you seen her?
Of course. She haunted this house for years, burning the life out of anybody who lived under its roof. Yeah, the good Reverend hasn't told you the full story, has he? My ancestor was an arrogant man. He was also stupid. A man in his position should never have gone near one of his domestic staff. I mean, a maid, for goodness sake. I suppose her being Swedish must have added an air of exoticism. Acknowledge her as the father of her child. A preposterous idea back then.
MBA ya guys ya berarti.
She had to leave, of course.
Tapi
How can you do this to me? How can you do this to me? I am your child. Okej! Jag går! Men jag hatar dig för att du gör det här med mig! Förbanna dig och ditt hus!
yang artinya adalah terkutuklah tempat ini dan semua keturunan-keturunannya. Ngasal.
The other staff turned their backs on her. Nobody in the village would help. Quite alone, with no family to turn to, she was left with almost no choice.
Terlihat gawat, guys.
They say that a soul that dies in a state of rage leaves a curse. Well, Agnes cursed us all that day.
So people believe these deaths were because of her.
Records in this house were very carefully kept. Particularly so on an estate so heavily reliant on agriculture. The phases of the moon were noted. Agnes's death was remarked on at the time because of the blood moon that appeared in the sky on the night of her death.
A lunar eclipse.
Indeed. 2 years on, and Agnes was barely remembered
But
until the next blood moon appeared in the sky.
oh, tiap kali ada blood moon, Agnesnya datang.
That night, a maid in the house swore she'd seen Agnes on the stairs, whispering to her. The days went on, and she became more and more hysterical, claiming she heard Agnes speaking to her wherever she went.
Atau ini yang jangan-jangan ini ya, pelakunya yang buat Agnes itu diusir.
The next morning, the estate steward found the maid hanging from a tree. After that, we grew to fear the appearance of a blood moon.
Even now.
Let me show you something.
Oke guys, kita dibawa ke peternakan dia kah? Oh bukan, halaman belakangnya loh malah. Ini udah di peternakannya dia.
What happened?
Kayak ladang apa gitu gede
I
banget.
had it burned to the ground. When one of the servants started complaining about a woman who'd be seen in the building at night, I'd finally had enough.
Fire?
So you set it on fire.
Fire was the only way to drive her out. The vicar's predecessor was very helpful in this matter. He was a far more enlightened man.
Maka dia pernah terlihat lagi di desa ini ya, village.
But has she been seen in the village?
Oh, yes. By the lake where she died. I really don't recommend you go there.
Emily. Kita pasti akan ke sana sih guys. Gak mungkin nggak ya. Period kita harus
I just want to know,
menelusuri lah.
Shannon,
Apalagi
what happened to
game
my
horror coy. Wajib banget.
I hope you find your answers. But if I were you, I'd leave this accursed place.
Masih ya, kita dengan segala macam rasa penasaran. Apa yang terjadi di kota ini, apa yang terjadi mungkin dengan teman kita yang bunuh diri, apa yang terjadi bla 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 bla. Cepat! Udah tahu nih backgroundnya Agnes itu kenapa nih sekarang? Kemana kah karakter utamanya kita menuju guys?
Hello? Anybody here?
Ini di mana sih? Oke. Terus out of... Oh, ini tangga darurat. Lu yakin mau jalan di tangga darurat sendirian? Mau kagetin kita bersama ya? Abandoned house ya teman-teman ya. Ini rumah yang sudah diabaikan lama banget. Om WaWa gak ngeliat ada siapa-siapa sama sekali. Dan gua rasa nggak bijak banget sih kalau kita kesini sendirian. Gua aja sebagai penikmat game horor agak serem gitu. Kita lurus aja dulu. Kurang bijak ya guys ya masuk sini sendirian. Oke, pintu kiri, pintu kanan ya. Kiri biasanya banyak hantunya guys. Tangan cebok nih, tangan cebok nih. Tetap nyari ya. Pasti ada sesuatu di bangunan ini guys. Gak mungkin gak ada apa-apa. Ini udah mulai nih. Kalau dari kameranya itu ada orang yang ngeliatin kita guys. What the hell? Apa nih? My God. What? Oh, lari bro. Lu gak diem di sana? Oh my god, kita tatap dia by one. Gua akan menatap dia teman-teman. Pasti ini cuman orang yang punya. Mah. Udah pasti hilang sih guys kalau zoomnya deket gini. Ini permainan kameranya. Dan kalau dia ngezoom kayak ini, biasanya di sebelah kirinya kita sih. Gue gak mau lihat. Tuh, kenapa hantunya bisa kelihatan? Udah kayak YouTube di Indonesia itu loh, yang cari-cari setan, kuntilanak dipegang. Yang kuntilanak itu gak ada akhlak. Sepatunya warna inilah. Woi, ini kenapa nih gue dikejar sama setan ceritanya sekarang? Oke guys, cukup cringe kalau menurut Om WaWa, tapi gak apa-apa. Lari! Cringe parah sih.
Oi! What's your game? You shouldn't be here. This is a close site.
There was someone in there. They were following me.
Oh, there's always weirdos hanging about this place. It's bloody dangerous.
No, this is something different. There was someone behind me. I swear.
Well, We aren't there now. And what did you think you were doing, wandering about like that?
If I was a patient here, I just wanted to see it for myself.
I don't think so. Well, this place has been closed more than 20 years.
No, she was here 2 years ago.
This place was closed up after the fire broke out on the ward. They moved all the mental stuff to some other place.
Bingung juga dia tuh mau ngomong apa lagi kan sama kita. Si Alexander deh, kita lihat Alexander. Alexander itu yang punya ini ya. Apa yang cerita si Agnes kan? Ya enggak sih? Oh ya benar.
I see you didn't take my advice. That is unfortunate.
I'm sorry. I had to know if you know who this is.
Yes, this is Lucy. Unfortunate girl went missing from here a few years ago now. 3, to be precise.
Do you know why?
I have no idea. You could try talking to her father, Matthew. He still lives in the village, but I really wouldn't advise it.
Why not?
It left him in a certain fragile state.
Fragile.
He lives on his own now.
Thank you dah informasinya dah. Yuk kita ketemu sama Matthew.
Thank you.
You should stay away from this. No good can come of it. Your friend is gone. There's nothing you can do about that.
I just need to know the truth.
There are some answers you should not be looking for, Christina.
Yo guys, dan sekian dulu untuk bagian kedua dari I Saw Black Clouds. Jadi kita sudah mencari masa lalu ya, apa yang terjadi. Jadi habis ini mungkin di bagian ketiga kita bakal ngobrol dengan Matthew, bokap dari cewek yang ada di foto itu ya. Kira-kira itu siapa? Like, share, subscribe, sampai jumpa di part ketiga. See ya.